What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to College Football Talk with Peter Burtonette, bringing you part 5 of my positional ranking series. In this video, I'm going to be going over the top 5 linebacker units in college football. Check out all my other videos that I've posted before this. But before I get into this video, if you go on to enjoy, please feel free to leave a like, consider subscribing to the channel, and turn on those post notifications so you're always up to date whenever I upload. But first, I'm going to be going over some honorable mentions because sometimes a team has a really good individual linebacker, but maybe the other one or two don't quite stack up compared to maybe some of these other linebacker units that I have in this video. So a couple of those are Ole Miss, Suntrain Perkins, Kyle Lewis at Pitt, and Gabe Jacas at Illinois. Those are three probably the top linebackers in college football, probably top 10, each of those three guys. But the guys around them don't quite make up the same group that these 5 teams I'm going to go over have. Starting things out, Ohio State at number 5. Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese are two really good linebackers. Both were obviously pivotal to the Buckeyes' national championship last year. Reese made some good plays, and Styles, I think, is probably going to get the Block O jersey this year. I talked about that actually in another video I was on. I was on a live showing of a podcast, the Ohio Podcast. Shout out that channel. I might link the video and maybe their channel in the description of this video. Coming in at number 4 is Michigan. They've got a couple of really good linebackers. One that transferred from Nebraska a couple years ago, Ernest Hausman. He's really emerged and stepped up as an impressive linebacker. And then Jayshawn Barham. He's in his second year at Michigan after transferring in from Maryland. Both of those two guys are two really good linebackers. Here I was kind of torn between a couple of teams. And I'm going to go with Clemson. I originally had Texas here at number 3, but going over it, I think the Longhorns have a couple of really, really good linebackers. I'll talk more about them in a little bit here. But Sammy Brown and Wade Woodaz were two really good linebackers last year. Woodaz led the team with 83 tackles, and Brown had 80. So it's a really balanced pairing. They're losing one of the other top tacklers from a year ago in Barrett Carter. I think they're kind of an underrated group, and I think, you've seen Clemson kind of pop up in a lot of these rankings. I think they have a really good team that is going to compete for potentially not just an ACC championship, but potentially even for the national championship. Then coming in at number 2, I've talked about them a little bit already. That's Texas. I think Anthony Hill Jr. is probably the best inside linebacker in college football, and then Trey Moore is a nice addition to pair with Hill. He had 10 tackles for loss and 6.5 sacks last year. But the number 1 linebacker group is one that has a little bit of an asterisk, and that is LSU. They've got probably one of, if not the best linebackers in college football in Harold Perkins Jr., but he's coming back from an injury for the 2024 season, and he's also joined by Whit Weeks. Both of those guys are probably each one of the top 3 at their positions, and the Tigers, because of that, have, I think, one of the top linebacker groups in college football. And I think, actually, Texas is a very close second, but I think that balance of having two guys who are, I would say, almost undoubtedly, top 3 at linebacker at their positions. Weeks at kind of one of those traditional linebacker positions, and then Perkins actually moving to a star position, which is more of that linebacker strong safety hybrid. But I think LSU has the best linebacker tandem in the country this season. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Which team you think has the best linebacker group in college football? In my next video, I'm going to be going over the best secondaries in college football. And then my final video in this series is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter one, but I'll be going over the top special teams. But that's all for this episode of College Football Talk. I'm your host, Peter Burtonette, signing out. Peace.